Alright folks, so word on the street is you want to know how to build a magazine speech. Alright, fair enough. That's pretty easy. Here's how you build a magazine speech. Alright, obviously you apply the 8 keys, so you start it off with your attention-getting device. Alright, but the first section of your speech, there are 3 sections to the magazine speech. The first section, which will by far be the longest, which needs to be at least a minimum of 2 minutes and 15 seconds, and that is the summary of the article. You will simply go up there and give us a summary of the article. You'll tell us the insides and outs, and essentially you're going to be the author. You're going to act as if you were the one that wrote the article, and you're going to tell us a story about it. So the good thing is, for anyone who may have lost credit for not having a comprehensive narrative, you're not going to really have to sweat it too much because the author of the article has pretty much written the narrative for you. All right? So the first 2 minutes and 15 seconds of your speech will be dedicated solely to the summary. But then we get to the critical thinking portion of the speech, and this is section 2. Section 2 of your speech is the definitions. Definitions. And what this means is you will need to find 3 terms, all right? 3 terms from, and I'll give you the chapters online, but you'll find 3 terms from the specific chapters from the textbook that you find being used by the author in the article. All right? So what I mean by that is, say you're doing your speech on, say, Kobe Bryant or whatever. All right. Well, let's say in the article, the author writes, 84% of NBA athletes admit to having extramarital affairs on their wives, right? Well, you look at 84%, you thumb through, say, Chapter 7, and you look at the term statistic. Statistic is defined as any evidence gathered in the form of numbers, right? So when you see 84%, you know that that's a statistic. So one of your 3 terms will be statistics, okay? So that's what I mean. You need to find 3 terms being used by the author in your article. Now, notice how I said that. 84% of NBA athletes, blah, blah, blah. It didn't say the statistic of NBA athletes cheating on their wives is 84%. No, it doesn't say that. You have to know what a statistic is in order to find it, okay? So don't try to find the literal word for word term, all right? You're not going to find interpersonal communication. You're not going to find group communication. That's not, authors are not going to write that. Rather, you have to know what the term is and be able to identify it in the article, all right? So for the second section, you'll find 3 terms from the chapters, 3 in total, not 3 from every chapter, just 3 total, that you find being used. And then in that section, you'll also define the term for us. So you'll say, the first term I found being used is statistics. Statistics is defined as evidence gathered in the form of numbers. And let's say the next term you found was symbol. Symbol is defined as any physical object that represents a concept or an idea. Okay? And then you find the third. Now the third section of your speech will be the analysis portion. This is where you will tell us how, right? That's the emphasis here. How did the author use the term? So when you see it says 84% of NBA athletes do X, Y, Z, and you go, the first term I found being used was statistics. Statistics is defined as evidence gathered in the form of numbers. When you get to your analysis portion, you would say, here's how the author used statistics. Statistics was used in the article when the author clearly indicated 84%. Right? Then you move on and go, here's how the author used symbol in the article. Symbol was used when XYZ happened. Okay? So section 1, your summary. Section 2 is where you'll find 3 terms being used by the author that are also in your textbook, and then you simply define them for us. Define the terms. Third section, this is where you analyze the terms by telling us how the term was used in the article. All right? And then you end it with a conclusion. All right? So, summary, definitions, analysis. The next video I'll post, I'll give you a quick example of how the magazine speech should sound, so that way maybe some of these abstract concepts, if you're having difficulty grasping these concepts, you can see them in action and maybe they'll help you out. All right, make it work.